So you're an OREA student or you're looking into getting into OREA and getting your real estate license in Ontario and you want to know how to pass your exams extremely fast. Well, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to pass your exams, including each and every individual exam, and just talk about some basic tips and tricks on how you can pass and become a real estate agent and start selling some houses. So just a bit of a disclaimer, I actually passed all my OREA exams within less than 6 months. I think it was even like 5 to 4 months. I just took a few breaks here and there, but I found it very easy, and I'm going to be explaining and sharing all my tips and tricks on exactly how I was able to pass. Another disclaimer, I have never bought or sold real estate before doing my OREA exams. I've never seen an agreement of purchase and sale. My, biggest qualification at the time of starting and finishing my OREA exams was a high school diploma. So I am not someone who has bought a bunch of real estate. I'm not a real estate investor at the moment. And yeah, I don't have any experience that will put me at an unfair advantage. So these tips apply to literally anyone as a basic real estate person. The first number one tip is there are people that use Passit. Personally, I've never used Passit. If you want to use Passit, go ahead. It's like, I think $30, and I have heard from countless people that it helps out a lot to use Passit. So maybe you want to make that $30 investment. One thing to keep in mind is if you are to fail an exam for the first time, you have to pay an additional $50 to get back in and reschedule your exam. So maybe to play it safe, you want to just spend that $30 so you don't have to spend an extra $50. In terms of actually writing the exam, an obvious thing is make sure you go through the course. And I recommend doing the exam on iPad because it's just a lot more easier. You can look through every question and you don't have to be flipping through pages. So that's another tip. But yeah, if you are doing e-learning, make sure you literally go through all of it. Just read it. A thing that I did was I did a chapter a day, and then I took 1 to 2 weeks after that to just focus on studying. And if you do the e-learning and you actually read through it, at the end you will see that there's the knowledge integration, the mini review, and the learning exercise. So these are like a quiz and then like a test at the end of every chapter. I strongly recommend you do that for every single course and every single chapter. It just doesn't make sense for you not to. It literally has practice quizzes and practice tests. So make sure you do those. So if you are doing Passit and you are doing that as well, another thing I would recommend is just Googling stuff. Google anything. If you have any questions, just Google it. Or if you really want to, reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help. So the first exam consisted of a decent amount of math. And if you think the math in that was hard, you're just getting started. Course 2 also had a decent amount of math and some theory, which I found pretty decent. Course 3 was, in my opinion, the hardest course. This was a course that I actually failed the first time writing, but the second time I did a lot better. And one thing I will say is with course 3, make sure you read it and you do it as precise as possible. You just want to remember all the details because it can literally be one small detail that gives you a wrong answer, and that can cost you 3 total marks. Another tip for exams in general is, remember, these exams are all multiple choice. So if you are someone that hates math questions, maybe you want to do the math questions first. Or if you're someone who's kind of stumbled upon a question, you might want to skip that question and move on and work on something else and then come back to it. Another thing, guys, is network with other realtors. Ask them through Instagram DMs, text them, call them, whatever you want to do. Ask them how they found the exam. Maybe they have some type of notes that they'll give you. I know personally, for me, talking to other realtors, they've given me a lot of tips, told me exactly what to focus on specifically, and given me some notes and some files that have helped me a lot. So again, talk to other realtors and ask them if they have anything. Maybe they'll give it to you for free. Maybe they'll charge you. If you want, maybe you can even message me and I'll kind of try and help you out. Another thing is, guys, obviously these tests can be pretty nervous to write. I remember when I wrote my first test, I was kind of like, oh man, this is going to be hard. I'm not sure what to do. But I did write it and I ended up, I believe, walking with an 84 or an 86. And guys, trust me, it can really be nerve-wracking. The only thing I can say is to just go and do it and to just be confident. I know it's easier said than done, but just don't postpone it. Don't prolong your exam. Just get it done. Because think about it this way. If you go and you write your exam and you fail, you now know what type of questions you should expect for the next time that you write your exam. Here's another huge tip that people kind of don't really understand or kind of don't use. On your OREA website, there are actually discussion forums which are completely by people who are doing the OREA exams and studying through the OREA courses. So, if you have a question, maybe you might want to ask it there, and you might want to just make a forum post and just ask, oh, I don't understand how GDP is calculated, for example, or I don't understand how you do this or do that, loan to value ratio, whatever that looks like. Maybe you don't understand something, you can write it down there and people will definitely help you out. And if you go there, you might actually see some of my forum posts because I've asked a few questions, helped some people out. So it's just a huge community helping each other out, and it is definitely something you want to look into. So we talked about Passit. I know there's a lot of stuff like OREA Prep and Minicram. I used Minicram for course 3 and it did help me out a decent amount. One thing I will say is Minicram and OREA Prep are not actually endorsed by OREA. I think only Passit is endorsed by OREA, so maybe you want to look into that. And again, I am not affiliated or I don't make, this isn't an ad or anything. These are just stuff that I've learned and I've talked to other realtors and they've told me that this works for them. Other than that, guys, I mean, that pretty much wraps things up. Just make sure you go through all the course content. Maybe do a chapter every single day and kind of do a week or two after you've done every chapter to study. That's what I did and it worked for me. Make sure you check the forums, ask questions, read the forums, because a lot of times people may ask questions that you may not have even asked or you may not have even realized, and some people may even actually post some questions that were actually on the exam. So remember, the forums are very key. And remember to network with other realtors and ask around if they have any notes maybe that they want to share or if they have anything that can help you. And I mean, other than that, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you are writing your OREA exams, good luck to you. Hopefully you pass and you can start doing some deals. Currently, I'm in the process of registering for RICO, and I mean, hopefully I can do some deals soon, and hopefully we can meet up and talk. So I mean, again, feel free to DM me if you have any questions, or leave a comment down below. And again, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe for more content. I post a few real estate videos, investing videos, finance videos, stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.